All right, welcome everyone. We're here for the final game of the day here on this day 2 of the 2022 Canadian U22 Baseball Championships here at Beasley Field, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for tuning in as always. And this is going to be a late one here, let me tell you, after the weather delays that we had here in the previous games. But now we're finally on to our final game of the night here, the Fredericton Royals and the Kitchener Panthers. About to get things started here in the top of the first inning as going to make his way up to the plate here to get the game started here for the Panthers. Will Pollard going to step in there, starting this game in right field, and we're going to get this thing underway here. Starting pitcher for Fredericton Royals in this game is Nick St. Pierre. He's going to have Shane Sullivan behind the plate here, calling the pitches here as we're about to get this thing going momentarily here. Of course, beautiful night here in Dartmouth after the we didn't think it would be such a beautiful night after all the thunderstorms and all the delays and stuff. We're finally ready to get on with this game here. About original start time game was 7. Now we're approaching 10, so that just tells you how the delay was. First pitch coming. Right down the heart of the plate for a strike. 0-1 is the count. That's a good pitch to get the game started here. Pollard steps back in. St. Pierre looking for the sign from Sullivan. As you can see, still the amusement park. When you can see it next to glittering in the background there as strike 2, 0-2. Of course, this Fredericton Royals team a perfect 2-0-0 thus far in the tournament, so they have a perfect record coming into this game. And of course, Kitchener here also 2-0-0, so 2 undefeated teams here in this one. In their third game of the preliminary round. Swing and a miss. That's going to be a strikeout on 3 pitches to get the game started here, 1 away. And very happy about that one, obviously, on the bench there are the Royals. Blake Jacklin to step in here, starting this game in left field. Of course, both these teams are obviously 2 of the representatives here at this tournament here. Of course, this Kitchener team had to go through a eliminator tournament in Ontario in the U22 about them and 23 other teams, one of them being, of course, the other Ontario team, the Newmarket Hawks. They actually beat Newmarket in the finals of that thing, and that's how it's Ontario 1 is Kitchener and Ontario 2 is Newmarket. Off this pitch, that's going to be bunted, but bunted foul 0-1. And, of course, Fredericton Royals come by way of the New Brunswick Junior Baseball League, representing the province of New Brunswick. Stepping back in here is Jacklin. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1 is the count. Of course, I'd like to thank all of you for sticking around all day here throughout all of the delays, and we're certainly been going at it all day here in various stints and various comings and goings here. All of us, the whole High Button Sports crew for the tournament here, as we're now into the final game of day 2 here at Beasley. The 1-1, that's going to be hit. Off to second, the play to first, the throw, in time, and that'll be 2 away. Able to get that nice throw in there. Zach O'Hara, the second baseman there for the Royals, and able to get it. Eric Martin stepping in here, starting this game in center field. After we just saw the second out there on the put-out. Of course, a lot of people on the High Button Sports crew are very high on the numbering system, so if you are, that was a 4-3 put-out, the second to first. That's going to be dripped up the center line, and that is going to go in there for a single, and that's going to put Martin on the bases here with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Simon Grinberg stepping in there, starting this game on first base. Grimberg going to step in there. Here's the pitch from St. Pierre, and that's going to be outside 1-0. Must say, despite the fact that this game is, at the time that it is, still a pretty nicely sized crowd here, and also playing into that factors because if we have two teams from differing areas of the country there, so that's nice to see that those people are there, and from all the teams for that matter as well. That's going to be a strike, 1-1. St. Pierre going to step back in here. He's going to look for the sign from Mr. Shane Sullivan behind the plate there. Looks the runner back to first. Here comes the... Oh, I thought we were going to see the pitch there, but just stepping off there for a moment is St. Pierre. Martin retreats back to first. All right, here St. Pierre's going to look back in. Perhaps you just need an extra moment there to get himself good for this one here as Martin leads off first. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, and I think Martin was thinking about going, but that's a good stop there from Sullivan to keep the ball from not going all the way back to the backstop. Okay, that's going to put the count at 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Of course, these are 7-inning games here at the tournament. And I have to say, after all the delays and how late sometimes these games go, I think we're on a good. That's a good thing. These games are just 7 innings. That's going to be ripped center field, high towering shot, and that is going to be caught to end the top half of the first inning. Nice catch in there by Matt Chasson there for Fredericton, and that does it for the top of the first. All right, about to get started here with the bottom of the first inning. Before we go any further, we'd like to thank our game sponsor for this particular game, 5 Star Roofing and Masonry, the game sponsor for this game right here. All right, going to lead off the bottom of the first here. Zach O'Hara here for the Fredericton Royals, starting this game at second base. He had a ground out. He's able to get the first there in the top of the first. And Kevin Millar is the starting pitcher here for Kitchener and has Ben Salazar behind the plate. That's going to be a ball, 1-0. Millar going to step back in here, waits for the sign from Salazar. He gets it. Here's the pitch. That is going to be strike. 1-1. Next one coming here from Millar. Showing bunt. Backs off in time, and that's going to be out of the zone there. 2-1. Stepping back in here. O'Hara back in here. Here's the next pitch from Millar, the 2-1. In there, 2-2 for the strike that time. So the 2-2 count here, still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. That's going to be played up there to second. The throw over the first is going to be in time, 1 away. Able to get the nice throw over there was... Trying to see who that was there on the side that time. Looks like it was Dave Polson that time there. Yes, at second base there for the Panthers to get that one in there. All right, next up here for Max Grant here, starting this game at the shortstop for Fredericton for this one. Oh, we got to get a clean plate there first. All right, Grant's going to get set up here. Millar's going to look in. Salazar's going to give him the sign. Pitch coming. Ball. 1-0. Of course, you have to imagine just how it does to your mental and I guess sort of physical preparation. You're told you're going to be playing at one time, and then it's pushed back hours there. I have to wonder if that's going to have any effect on the preparation there, as that's going to be low for the ball to make it the 2-0 count. Or I guess it could go both ways. Maybe you want to play right away there and get things going right away there. Or maybe, the extra rest might be beneficial. So I guess it's give or take, depending on your personal preference. Of course, in a perfect world, we like everything to start on time. But, of course, as we know, this world is far from perfect. And this is the hand that was dealt to these players out there, but they don't seem to mind at all. They're just happy to be out there right now. Ball. That's going to ring the count to 3-0. And just to finish my point here, let's face it, I think we've learned over the last couple years that just getting the game on the field, that's an accomplishment and all that we should be very thankful for. As that's going to be strike. 3-1 the count. All right, Grant going to step back in here. One out here in the bottom of the first. 3-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Boom, in there. Strike. Full count. Was a 3-0 count, but Millar able to work it back to a full count here, as here's the payoff. Ball, and that's going to send Grant to first base on the walk there to put him on. Craig Oliver to step in here for the Rose, starting this game at third base. We're going to have a little consultation here before we get going between Millar and Salazar, just to make sure that they're not just reading the same book, but on the same page. That's, of course, very important for any pitcher-catcher combo. Of course, don't need any Bob Stanley, Rich Gedman drops to send Kevin Mitchell home, if you're familiar with that story, or similar ones of the past, whenever there's been a miscommunication between a pitcher and a catcher to cause all sorts of problems for the team in the field. That one's going to be swung back and fouled almost right in front of our broadcast location here, and that's going to make it 0-1 the count. As we get back at it here, 0-1 is the count. As we're going to get this next pitch here from Millar for the Kitchener Panthers. That's going to be in the dirt, and there goes the runner in there for the steal, and Grant's going to get that steal and get to second base. Count currently 1-1 here on Oliver, currently at the plate for the Fredericton Royals. Of course, we continue here at the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Moffat with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for staying with us all day long, and all weekend long for that matter. Here from Beasley Field here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Ball. That's going to bring the count up to 2-1. Grant still on second base as we are one out here in the bottom of the first. Millar tries to look Grant back to second here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there. That is going to be the strike and make the count 2-2. Two coming. Inside, full count. All right, important pitch coming up here off the a second consecutive 3-2 count here for Millar. As we just saw the walk to Grant there, he's able to steal second now. We're going to see what happens with Oliver on this full count. Oh, time is called there. Just a little adjustment need to be made there by Craig Oliver. Here's the pitch. That's a well-hit ball, center field. And the catch is going to be made in center field, but there's a tag from Grant. Grant's going over. Oh, I think that was a good decision there. I think he might have been gunned out there at third if he would have made it, and he stays at second there, and that's going to be the second out. Logan Walsh stepping in here now. He is starting this game in right field. Grant still at second. He thought about tagging up off the catch there, as that catch was successfully made by Eric Martin. But in my opinion, that was a good decision for him to not go for that one, as he had a pretty good jump off the what was going to be a throw there from Eric Martin. But Grant's going this time, as that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Play at third is going to, oh! Well, that was a pretty acrobatic play there by Tyler Henriques to try and get the tag on there, but Grant is safe at third and is now at third base off a second steal. But it is the 0-1 count here on Walsh off the strike. But now Grant's at third. That's going to be inside for the ball there to make the count 1-1. Grant off third by maybe 3 or 4 paces. Here's the pitch from Millar. In there for the strike to make the count 1-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, so we're going to see if Panthers can get out of this semi-jam that they found themselves in right now with Grant at still at third. Swing and a miss there. That was going to be strike 3, and that's going to end, and that semi-jam is gotten out of by the Panthers. And we are still in a 0-0 game after 1 full inning. All right, back at it here with the top of the second here. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here at the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. We once again acknowledge our game sponsors, Game 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services. So there you go for that one. Tyler Henriques to lead off the top of the second, starting this game at third base. St. Pierre's about to throw the pitch in. As we foul back by Henriques, 0-1 the count. That was a good swing there by Tyler Henriques, but it was fouled back and the 0-1 count. Kind of look in here. It's going to be St. Pierre, Sullivan, giving him the sign there. It's going to be taken. And we're going to see the pitch from St. Pierre. Strike. 0-2 is the count, so quickly in a hole here is Henriques. As we continue on here with the Fredericton Royals and the Kitchener Panthers in this preliminary round game here at the tournament. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to strike out Henriques as we are 1 away. I'd like to invite you all to go to and follow all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, for more great content and videos, and our YouTube as well, of course. We're talking about videos and podcasts and live mic videos and all that good stuff. All right, we're going to have AJ Carasas step in here for the Panthers, starting this game at shortstop. Oh, not before the plate is clean there. A little bit of cleaning up to do there. Clean up, everybody clean up, as here Carasas is going to step in here. St. Pierre looking for the sign from Sullivan. He gets it. Here's the pitch. That's going to be boomed to center field. This could be tricky. And it's going to go all the way back to the wall here. This could be extra bases for A.J. Carasas. He's going to stop standing up at second base, and he's able to get the double and put himself on second base for A.J. Carasas. Robbie Gauthier to step in here next for the Panthers, starting this game as the DH. Kind of interesting notes, I'll throw it in there. On the official roster we have is listed as Robert Gauthier, but the PA and the lineup card have him as Robbie, so that's what we're going with here for Mr. Gauthier, as we're going to have a consultation here between St. Pierre and Sullivan, just to make sure, like we were saying back in the, just a moment ago on the other side on the Panthers, Millar and Salazar, not only that they're reading the same book, but they're on the same page. So I guess I want to make sure that indeed is the case here. And we're about to get set once again here. Gauthier steps back in. Lead off second there for A.J. Carasas. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me again for that one, as ball 1-0. Carasas leads off second once again here by about, I'd say, 3 paces off the second bag. Out of the stretch, St. Pierre, ball. That's going to put the count at, I would have to imagine, 2-0 for that count. Carasas off second once again here. Out of the stretch, St. Pierre once again. Fouled back by Gauthier, and that is going to make it the 2-1 count. Oh, nice hustle there by, trying to see who that was there for the Panthers. Crawford Passy. I believe he was the one that was earlier snagging all those foul balls there for the Panthers, of course. Important in a baseball tournament to make sure all those foul balls are collected, because, of course, those things are expensive, like it seems all pieces of sports equipment. Time going to be called here, so perhaps Gauthier just needs an extra second here, and steps back in with the 2-1 count. We're 1 out here in the top of the second. Carasas leads off second base. Here's the pitch. Ball. 3-1 the count. All right, count currently 3-1 here on Gauthier. Carasas off second once again here. Here's the pitch. Strike. Full count. Gauthier going to step back in here, as we're going to see the payoff pitch here from Nick St. Pierre. Ball. And that is going to send Gauthier to first base on the walk, so we're going to have runners on first and second here for the Panthers, still with just 1 out here in the top of the second. Ben Salazar going to step in here, who is catching to start the game. He's going to have Carasas on second and Gauthier on first. Here's the pitch. That's going to be drilled, but drilled foul. And as many foul balls have gone this tournament over into the adjacent track and field facility. Thankfully, I don't think anyone's out here right now at this late at night. 0-1 the count. But it does stop at least one person there from going over to get that foul ball in the dark, as there ain't no lights over there right now, or at least lights that are on. Well, there are lights, but they're just not on right now. Pitch coming. Swing and a miss. That is going to be the strike, and 0-2 the count. 0-2 hole here for Ben Salazar. Let's see what he can do to try and get out of it here. still in the scoreless game. One gone here in the top of the second. Ball. 1-2 is the count. Of course, you still see Carasas on second and Gauthier over there on first. Going to see leadoffs here from both Carasas and Gauthier. And just taking a step off for a moment there is St. Pierre. But looks like he's back for it now as Salazar steps back in as well. All right, here comes the 1-2. That's going to be the ball and make the count 2-2. It looks to be a pretty nice night here in Dartmouth after the storms and stuff, so and it looks pretty clear out there as well. As the lights are on here at Beasley, here's the pitch. That's going to be drilled left field, and that is going to be down there. That's going to be a hit. That's going to go to the wall. Here comes Carasas around third. He's going to score. And looks like they're going to hold up Gauthier on third, and there is over there on second Salazar for the RBI double and put the first run on the board. It is 1-0 Kitchener. All right, David Polson going to step in here for the Panthers, starting this game at second base. And he's going to have on the base pass there, that's going to be Gauthier at third and Salazar at second. Of course, Karras has just scored a moment ago to make this a 1-0 game here in favor of the Kitchener Panthers. That's going to be ripped, but it's going to be fouled to the left side there. Oh, look out in the bleachers. Oh, just barely going over the bleachers. And it's going to roll meekly into the parking lot of the adjacent Caledonia Junior High School. Of course, that's always the case, it seems, if there's a parking lot nearby, that the ball has a tendency to perhaps dent some things there, and that could mean all sorts of things, as that's going to be, I think, a balk, they're going to say on that one. And that's going to trot on Gauthier home, make this thing 2-0 Panthers. And, of course, that's going to advance Salazar to third base. I don't see any arguments there from the Royals on that one, but they are going to have an infield consultation here, so and we're going to see one of the coaching staff members coming out there for the Royals to try and reset things here, as they are now down 2-0 here are the Royals to the Kitchener Panthers here. And we're still no outs here in the bottom of the second. Now, we just want to remind you that despite the fact that the schedule does say what it say for tomorrow, with the game starting at 10 o'clock, I don't know, we might need some extra time here, so there might be some schedule changes, perhaps starting a little bit later. Of course, us here in the broadcast location would not be would not be against a slightly later start to that there. Gives us a few more hours of sleep, but we can work with whatever we're given here at High Button Sports. That's going to be drilled left center and down there. Base hit. That is going to send home Salazar, and he touches up. And trying to get the second there is Polson. And that's going to be a ground rule double. He's going to get there for that one. So Salazar comes around, and it is now 3-0 for the Panthers off the ground rule RBI double from David Polson. All right, Will Pollard going to step his way back in here for the Panthers. He struck out his last at-bat, but he can get in on this offensive spree that the Panthers currently find themselves in with this, as it stands right now, 3-run inning. 3-run half inning, I should say. St. Pierre still out there. Here's the pitch. And there, a steal attempt to third. There's the throw. And the throw is going to be into the outfield, and that is going to easily score David Polson. And he's going to cross the plate there, make it now 4-0 Panthers. All right, it is an 0-1 count here, as it was a strike before the throwing error there by Sullivan. As we get back to it here, still the 0-1 count here, as we're still in this middle of this scoring spree here for the Panthers here in the bottom of the second, as that pitch is going to be a ball. 1-1 the count. Of course, that is 4 across for the Panthers thus far here in the bottom of the second. Pollard going to step his way back in here as St. Pierre going to pitch. Swing and a miss there. That is going to be the strike 2, 1-2. Still no outs here in the bottom of the second. Okay, settling back in here. Pollard getting the waggle on there, and St. Pierre about to deliver the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be popped up. It's in foul ground, but Sullivan might have a chance for it as he's careening towards his own dugout. Oh, my. And he falls, and it looked like he might have hit his face or his chin. I guess they're just going to make sure he's all right there, as he might just need a few moments, as it looked like he hit himself right on the chin there. Either way, it's going to hurt. Guess just making sure that he's going to be all right to continue here, as perhaps he just needs a moment there, and it looks like he's going to be okay there. Of course, that's a very good sign. And look at this great sportsmanship right here. So it's going to be, he's going to get his helmet back to him from Pollard. Oh, that's fantastic. Love to see that great sportsmanship from Pollard there, giving Sullivan back his helmet. That's just, I love that. That's fantastic. Great to see. Love to see it. As we get back at it here, 1-2 count here, still in the bottom of the second inning. St. Pierre from the stretch. Ball. 2-2 is the count. Stepping back in here is Pollard. Pitch. Ball. 3-2 the count, so the count is full once again here. Count is full. Pollard going to step back in here. Oh, time is going to be called here. Not exactly sure why time was called here, but it looks like we're going to get back to it now here. As Will Pollard going to step back in here for the Panthers. All right, St. Pierre, stretch, swing and a miss, and that is going to be the strike 3 and the first out of this bottom of the second. Okay, Blake Jacklin going to step back in here. He had a ground out to second his last at-bat. And he's going to try and see if he can turn that around here as he steps back in for his second at-bat of the game here. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. St. Pierre. Pitches in. Strike. 0-1 the count. Jacklin going to step his way back in here. 0-1. That's going to be passed by there. And that's going to be the ball 1-1 the count. Comes the next one. Ball. That's going to make it the 2-1 count. Of course, Royals 1 out away here from getting out of this thing. And see if what they can do in the subsequent innings here. As it's already a big inning here for the Panthers, putting 4 across here in this bottom of the second. It's going to be a strike. 2-2 the count. So 1 strike away here for the Royals from getting out of this thing and just putting it behind them and focusing on what they can do for the rest of the game here. But still need the one last one here. So it's a 2-2 count. 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be ripped, but foul. So the at-bat continues here for Jacklin. As we reset here. Jacklin steps back in. Oh, at least I thought he was stepping back in, but now he's back in this time. Okay, St. Pierre. With the 2-2. Ball, full count. All right, 3-2 is the count now. Pitch coming. Fouled back, and the at-bat continues here for Jacklin. As once again, there is, I believe that's Passy once again, yeah. Oh, he did the big sprint, but now he just does a leisurely jog back. Okay, well, I guess they can't all be big wind sprints. Just a wind sprint to the ball and then just a casual jog like it's a sunny Sunday afternoon or something. So we're going to get this payoff pitch once again here from St. Pierre. That's going to be lined into center field and in there. That's going to be down there for the single. And that is going to put Jacklin on first here with that single. Eric Martin to step his way up. Well, I was about to say as Eric Martin was about to step his way back in here. We're going to get a mound visit here. And this might be the end of the pitching appearance here for Nick St. Pierre. And there's the ball back there, and that is going to do it for Nick St. Pierre in here for this game. So that's going to do it for him after 1 2/3 innings here. And we're going to get this warm-up here for our next pitcher. So we'll step aside here for a moment, and we'll be back to continue the game here on High Button Sports, and we'll be back in just a moment. Will Hicks is taking over here for the pitching for the Royals, taking over from Nick St. Pierre. Pitches in here. And that is going to be the ball there, 1-0. As has Eric Martin currently up at the plate there for the Panthers. He had a single his last at-bat. Next one coming. Ripped but foul. That's going to make the count 0-1 here. Or I should say that what am I thinking here? That wasn't a ball, that was a balk on that first pitch. That sends Jacklin to second base here, as here's the pitch. Ball. And Hicks out. Actually, that might have been another balk just now. And here comes one of the coaching staff there with the sprint. I think he's trying to calm Hicks down there. And now he's going to talk to him there as Hicks gets the ball back. And that's going to send Jacklin to third base. All right, going to get back to this thing here. 0-1 the count here on Martin with Jacklin at third. Pitch coming. That's deep to left field. It's going back. And that's gone. So that is going to be the 2-run homer there for Eric Martin. And that is going to put 2 more on the board here for the Panthers, make it now 6-0. So as if this half inning wasn't big enough here for the Panthers, give him 2 more here off that 2-run home run by Eric Martin, and now make it 6-0 Panthers.
Number 52, first baseman Simon Grimberg.
Simon Grimberg stepping back in here for the Panthers. He had a fly out to center field his last at-bat. And now we bring this thing back to home plate here. I'm not exactly sure what the nature of this, perhaps those balks that we just saw mere moments ago there. Is that before the home run, I should say, for Martin? To make this now as a 2-run home run, to make this thing now 6-0 in favor of the Kitchener Panthers, as we're still 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. All right, we're going to step back in here. Grimberg stepping back in here. That's going to be foul back there, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ball's going to be low there as the swing successfully checked, 1-1. That is going to be drilled there. Second base, throw over in time, and that'll do it here for the second inning, but not for a huge second inning here for the Panthers, putting 6 on the board here as we're now through 2 full innings. Back at it here, and I have to correct myself. We're now currently right now here in the bottom of the second inning after that huge top of the second now for the Kitchener Panthers, putting the 6 across here. Now we're back at it here, bottom of the second. Nick Rushton going to lead off the bottom of the second. The DH in this game, starting off for the Royals. Millar with the pitch. It's going to be a ball 1-0 the count. That's going to be fouled back. And goes right over our broadcast position once again there for the foul ball. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Ball. That's going to make it 2-1. That's going to be the ball there as we are 3-1 the count. Next one coming. Ball. Full count. Or actually, no, that was the walk there. Excuse me. As that's going to send Rushton to first off the walk. Connor Huckins to step in here for the Royals, starting this game at left field. Rushton's going to be at first. Hawkins steps in here. Rushton leads off first. Here's the pitch. Ball 1-0. Off by maybe not that much, about 2 paces off the first base bag there for Rushton. As here's the next pitch from Millar to Hawkins. That's going to be the ball there. 2-0 is the count. Hawkins steps back in here. Here's the pitch. Strike. 2-1 is the count. Hawkins steps in once again here. Once again, not a very big lead off there for Rushton. Maybe about 2 paces off the bag. Here's the pitch. That is to be the ball. 3-1. See what happens here in this half inning after what we saw in the top half of the second with the 6 runs there from the Panthers. Rushton, once again, not that very far off first, maybe about 2 paces off the bag. Pitch coming. Strike 3, and that is going to, or strike 2, excuse me, full count. Coming there to Huggins. Once again, not a very big lead off there from Rushton off of first. Here's the 3-2 from Millar. That's going to be the ball, and that's going to send Huggins off to first and Rushton off the second there off the walk to Huggins.
Number 20, first baseman
Cole McTavish stepping in here, starting this game at first base. We are going to see Huckins at first and Rushton at second here. Here's the pitch from Millar. Ball. 1-0 is the count. Rushton off of second. As we see Huckins off of first, here's the pitch. That's going to be drilled center field. Oh, what a beautiful leaping catch that was. Beautifully done there as Martin gets that one, and it's going to get the out here, 1 away. Beautiful leaping catch there by Martin. Had the home run in the last half inning, and beautiful catch right there. looks like did Martin hurt himself on that last one, as we have somebody from the Panther staff checking on him, as well as several players in there as well. Oh gosh, wouldn't that be awful after such a nice play for him to have hurt himself.
Hitting for Team New Brunswick, number 5, Derek Hale.
And I think he's saying he's good to continue here. Or maybe not. Didn't see exact. I saw he made the leaping catch and he landed, and it looked like everything was fine, but it looks like everything is fine. Trying to see as some people are coming in here. And it looks like Martin may have to come out of the game here. He's getting a very nice applause here from the fans here at Beasley's. He's going to make his way off the field there. We hope, certainly, obviously, that he's going to be okay there. And we're going to get the discussion with the umpires because we're going to need someone in there to sub in for Martin in center field. There is also going to be a pinch hitter here for the Royals. We're just waiting for the. Of course, they already announced it, but I was just focused on what was happening out there in center field with Martin. I'm going to get a substitution in here in center field for the Panthers. Just working out the substitutions here.
Defensive change for Team Ontario, now entering the game, number 65, David Boonstra.
All right, looks like it's going to be David Boonstra entering the game there in center field, replacing the injured Eric Martin in center field. All right, but to get things back going, here's the pitch. That's going to be in the dirt for the ball there, as thinking about going to second there was Rushton, but thinks better of it that time. As that is Garrick Hale that is in there pinch hitting in McTavish's spot out there at this time. So it looks like he's going to come into the game here, as McTavish was at first base to start the ball game, as that is going to be fouled back. 1-1 is the count. Hale steps back in. There goes Rushton off second, and Huckins off first. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and that is going to be 1-2 the count. Rushton off second. Huckins off first. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, and that is going to be the strikeout right there, and it's going to be 2 away. Shane Sullivan to step in here for his first at-bat, starting this game at catcher. Rushton still at second, and Huckins still at first here. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a ball, 1-0 the count. Rushton off of second and Huckins off of first. Here's the pitch. Ball. 2-0 is the count. See the leadoffs once again here. The 2-0 pitch coming from Millar. Strike, 2-1. Alrighty, we're going to get back to this thing right here. Here's the pitch. Strike, 2-2. Alright, one strike away from getting out of this bottom of the second here for the Panthers. Got to be thinking on 2 strikes here that both Rushton and Huckins will be going. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be foul back there, and that's going to keep the at-bat going here for Sullivan. All right, Sullivan steps back in here. Rushton off of second, Huckins off of first. Millar with the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to do it here for the second inning here, as we are now done the 2 complete innings here thus far, and still the 6-0 lead for the Panthers. Back out of here at the top of the third here, this game here at the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you for sticking with us here. We'd like to once again acknowledge our game sponsors this game, 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services. Swing and a miss there on strike 1, as that's going to be the strike 1 there on Tyler Henriques. He struck out his last at-bat, as 0-1 the count there, as still going to be Hicks pitching out there for the Royals. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. So 2 big swings there, but they both result in the strikes there, and down quickly in the count here is Tyler Henriques. Right down the heart of the plate, strike 3 on 3 pitches, and that's going to be 1 away here as Henriques strikes out. A.J. Karasas coming back up to the plate here for the Panthers. He had a double his last at-bat, and he started the offensive explosion that the Panthers had the last inning here that sent 6 across the plate. And now Carasas back up at it again here. Strike one, 0-1. Carasas, we also should mention, scored one of those runs there in those 6 for Kitchener. Oh, excuse me for that one, as off the swing and the miss there, strike 2, 0-2. One out here in the top of the 3rd inning. It's going to be a ball. 1-2 is the count. Just coming up on 10:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time now, of course. In the normal timeline, we all would probably be home right about now, but of course that's not how it will stay with the weather delays here. We're still here doing this thing here. So that's going to be another strikeout there for Hicks, as that is going to be striking out Carasas there. 2 away here. Robbie Gauthier stepping up to the plate here. He had a walk his last at-bat and scored one of those, and scored a run as well. Of course, we mentioned before on our official rosters is here it says Robert Gauthier, but of course on the PA announcements and the lineup card says Robbie, so it's Robbie Gauthier we're going with here. That's going to be a ball high, 1-0. Gauthier steps back in. Here's the next pitch from Hicks. That's going to be popped about 10 miles in the air. They're going to chase this one down here. It's into foul ground. Oh, but they run out of room on the side. There's about 3 Royals going to chase that one down there. But it's going to go too far, so that's going to be a foul ball. 1-1 is the count. Oh, but there's a helpful fan to toss that ball back in there. That's always helpful. As yeah, there's about 3 players there. We're going to go after that one. If I could just... Yeah, Huckins was going after it. Looked like Grant was, and looked like Oliver was, but it all goes... They all run out of room on the side there, and the foul ball goes out of play, and it's the 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Hicks. Ball. 2-1. Of course, we're now 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Of course, remember 7-inning games here in the tournament. Just keep that in mind. And that ball is going to be fouled almost right in front of Gauthier there to keep the at-bat going. One striker in A. Now the Royals from getting out of this half inning. It'd be a lot better than the last half inning, as 2 strikeouts now, as Henriques struck out, Carasas struck out. That's going to be the ball there. Gauthier still in this thing. 3-2 is the count. Gauthier steps back in. Pitch coming. Payoff. It's going to be fouled off of... That might actually have gone off of Sullivan's pads there behind the plate for the Royals. To keep the at-bat going once again here. Still 3-2. All right, the payoff didn't get anything solved that time there. It might do it this time, so let's see what happens on this payoff right here. That's going to be the walk, and that's going to send Gauthier to first base. Ben Salazar to come back up here for the Panthers. He had a double and scored his last time out at the plate and on the base pass. Salazar about to step back in here. Hicks looking in there, getting the sign from Sullivan. Pitch coming. Inside, it's going to be the ball, and 1-0 is the count. Ferris wheel still going over there at the carnival over there in the, if you're familiar with the geography of this area of Dartmouth, the old Ford dealership Not exactly sure if that has a closing time there. Does the old carnival over there? Is that is going to be the ball? 2-0 the count. Actually, I don't know if there's a closing time on this. If there's some sort of municipal curfew that I'm not aware of that just shuts everything down in terms of public events at a certain time. Of course, certainly hope for not enough. Comes off by maybe 2 paces. Oh, as Hicks just needs an extra moment here. And gets that one here as here comes the pitch. In there for the strike. That's going to make it the full count there as Salazar thought there was a ball for a second, but has to have that red-faced embarrassing moment that some batters have occasionally where they think it's a ball, they get the ball before they go up, but no, it's a strike, so they get the red cheeks there, embarrassment, and step back in. Salazar should be able to, because it seems all ball players are able to move on for that. If something like that happens, just move on from it, move on to the next pitch. Here's the next pitch. That's going to be foul back into the mesh behind us, and the at-bat, continues going here for Salazar. Oh, geez. That hit somebody, well, the velocity came off the ball, but hit somebody in the head down. It looks like that person is okay down there. Might just hit the bill of the hat there. Okay, they're smiling, so I think we're good to say that that person's all right down there. That could have been, well, thankfully for that person, the velocity was taken off that ball by the mesh, and the part of the fence hit down. Looks like that person okay down there? Yeah, it looks like they are. That's good to know. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 3, and that's going to do it here for this one as getting out of this half inning with the strikeout there are the Royals. All right, back out with the bottom of the third here. Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Fredericton Royals and Kitchener Panthers continue on here. Mark Moffat, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us all day here. Once again, I'd like to acknowledge our game sponsor for this game, 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services, as that's going to be a ball in there to Matt Chason, starting this game at center field. And finally now to the very bottom of the Fredericton Royals batting lineup. Next one from Millar is going to be a strike. 1-1. Oh, excuse me. Next one coming from Millar. Strike. 1-2. All right, here comes the 1-2 pitch from Millar. Strike 3, and that is going to send Chasaw down on the strikeout there, 1 away.
Number 9, the shortstop, Max Grant.
Max Grant coming back up here for the Royals. He had a walk his last at-bat. Strike 0-1. Back in, here's Grant. Here's the pitch from Millar. That's going to be outside for the 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. Good. It's nice to see that the crowd does not really dissipate despite the fact that we're now pushing 11:45 here, Atlantic Standard Time, here in Dartmouth. Swing and a miss there. That's going to be strike 2, 2-2. Of course, all these people have a vested interest in this game because they all traveled a long way to be here, whether it be the however many hours from Fredericton or the however many hours from Kitchener to be here. So it doesn't matter if the games take place at 2 in the morning, they want to see it. Ball. Full count. Collective groan, it sounded like, coming from the Fredericton Royals dugout there. I don't think that's coming from eating too much food at supper. Here's the payoff. That's going to be a ball, and that's going to send that man Grant to first off the walk, and that's the second walk drawn by Grant in this game.
Number 22, third baseman
Craig Oliver stepping back in there. He had a fly out to center field his last at-bat. Already, Oliver going to step his way in here into the batter's box. And here comes the pitch here from Kevin Millar on the pitching mound. Ball, 1-0. Here's the next pitch coming. That's going to be tapered to center field. This could be a deep one. And that's gone. That's going to be out of here. So that is going to be the 2-run home run there for Craig Oliver. And the first runs on the board here for the Fredericton Royals and make this now a 6-2 game. Beautiful home run there from Craig Oliver. The 2-run home run. He's going to get the 2 on the board here first for the Fredericton Royals. Whoa. I'm trying to see if they have seems like every team nowadays has a special thing that they do for a guy that hits a home run. Don't see anything there special from Fredericton. No jacket or hat or wheelbarrow or whatever. As we get back to it here, as that's going to be fouled off there. 0-1's going to be the count there as that's stepping in there once again. Logan Walsh. He struck out his last at-bat. Strike 2. 0-2 is the count. We shall see if the pendulum momentum may now be swinging Fredericton's favor after that home run. Here's the 0-2. Strike 3. And that is going to get the strikeout there, and now 2 away.
Number 18, the designated hitter, Nick Rushton.
Nick Rushton coming back up here. He, in his last at-bat, had a walk. All right, Millar settles back in here on the mound. Here's the first pitch. Fouled back. 0-1 going to be the count there. So that was a good swing there by Rushton. And sent that thing careening back into the backstop. 0-1 the count. Here's the 0-1. Oh, off the dirt before it even got to the plate. 1-1. That might just came out of his hand wrong there for Millar. He's going to try and reset here as he's about to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Now it's going to be tapered down the right side, but that's a very nice catch made there on the second base side there. That was a beautiful catch made there by Polson that time, and that's going to do it for this half inning. Back out here, top of the fourth inning we're about to get to here. As about to step back into that batter's box there to keep things going in this one. It's going to be David Boonstra. This is actually going to be his first at-bat of the game here after the very unfortunate injury to Eric Martin after. It was a fantastic catch he made in center field that did Eric Martin there. And it looked like it was fine off the landing, off the jumping catch, but he hurt himself. And now he's out of the game. Now David Boonstra is in there, taking his place there in center field as that first pitch is a ball in there. 1-0 the count as Hicks still pitching in there for the Fredericton Royals. Swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1. Next one coming. Ball, 2-1. We'll see what Boonstra is able to do on his first at-bat of the game here. That's going to be a ball there to make it 3-1. That's going to be the walk, and that's going to send Boonstra to first on the walk. And looks like that's going to do it for the pitching outing here for Hicks. And looks like the new pitcher for the Royals is going to be trying to see who that young man. It looks like it's going to be. Actually, we're still trying to see there. Looks like it's going to be Alec McCrea. Yes, it is, as he's going to get his warm-up pitches. And we're just going to step away for a moment here, and we'll be back when we're ready to continue on with this game here on High Button Sports. All right, back at the top of the order here for the Panthers as Will Pollard steps back in. There are 2 strikeouts thus far from the game as McRae is about to get his pitching stint for this game underway, as we are still no outs here in the top of the 4th. First pitch in from McRae. It's going to be a ball, 1-0 the count. Just a quick recap of how we got to this point here for the Fredericton Royals. Started with a 13-1 victory over the PEI All-Star team. Then earlier today, 5-1 win over the Kentville Wildcats. They're now on this game, so this is their 2-game day. Of course, all teams have a 2-game day here in order to play the 4 round-robin games in this short tournament here, as that's going to hit Pollard and send him to first base. Blake Jacklin to step back in here. He has had a ground out and a single and a scored run in his game thus far. Should be mentioned that tomorrow at 1 p.m. if the schedule stands as is, Royals play the last round-robin game against the Dartmouth OLR Renegades, the host team here. Off the steal attempt, it's going to be successful and off the third. Goes Boonstra. And looks like sticking at first there is Bullard. There's a 1-0 count here on Jacklin. That's going to be a ball, 2-0 the count. Just a quick recap how we got here when it comes to the Panthers. Had an 8-2 win over the Metro Marlins yesterday, and earlier today a 8-7 victory over the Manitoba. So this is their 2-game day. And, of course, tomorrow, 11:30 a.m., if the schedule stands as is, it's going to be an all-Ontario matchup in their final round-robin game against the Newmarket Hawks. That's going to be a ball. 2-0 the count. Continuing on here from Beasley Field here in Dartmouth with the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Moffat with you from High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us all day here. We certainly very much appreciate it, especially today with the long delay, where if this was a normal timeline, we'd all be home right now, but we're still going here because of all the delays. That's going to be a strike in there. 3-1 the count. Boonstra leading off third. And there's Pollard there leading off first. Next pitch coming to Jacklin. He's going to nail that one to right field. And one run's going to come in. There goes Boonstra across the plate, and that's all they're going to get here. Oh, almost caught off the bag, but there's a throwing error. And, catching a very lucky break there, I'd say, was Pollard, as he was off the bag, but the throwing error came, and that sends the run across there. Boonstra across the plate, make it now a 7-2 lead here for the Kitchener Panthers.
Number 65, the left fielder, Dallin Boonstra.
All right, looks like we have it looks like that was actually David Polston that just scored on that last one there, so that's going to send him around. Now it's Boonstra coming up to the plate here, so get that straightened out here before we continue in my unofficial scoreboard here at the broadcast position. Ball, 1-0 the count there, as there's Bullard at second and Jacklin over there at first. So it looks like now we have Boonstra's first at-bat of the game after taking the place of Martin in center field. So that's going to be a strike in there, and now the count is 1-1. Still no outs here in the top of the fourth. Next one coming, ball. That brings the count to 2-1. Next one coming. Strike. 2-2. All right, as we continue on here. Pollard off second. Jacklin off first. Boonstra still in this thing here. Here's the 2-2 pitch from McCrea. Ball. Full count. All right, payoff pitch about to come here from McCrea. That's roped up the middle. Played there, and now, close play there. Oh, and now another close. Oh, but that's going to be the throwing error. Out at second, but the run is going to be scored here off the error, and put another one on the board here for the Panthers to make it 8-2. So there was one out there as Jacklin was thrown out there, but the run was able to be scored there by Pollard, and now make it an 8-2 lead here for the Panthers. Grinberg stepping his way back in here for Kitchener. He's had a flyout and a ground out in this game thus far. And he is going to have Boonstra at first. Boonstra with not a big lead off there, maybe 2 paces off the bag. Strike, 0-1. Oh, the stretch here is McCrea. Ball. 1-1. Of course, it's definitely cooled off here, obviously, being night and all, just like it did yesterday. Of course, yesterday was a very hot day. Felt like 40 degrees with the humidity. Of course, cooler today. There were some patches of sun, but it was definitely not as hot as it was yesterday during the daytime. That is going to be ripped to first. Play goes second to try to turn 2, but turns out they're only going to get 1 as Boonstra is going to be out at second, but off the FC. Grinberg goes to first. So that's going to be 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Tyler Henriques to step his way back in. He's had 2 strikeouts in this game. See if he can change that here, as he is going to be up here, and he's going to have a runner at first there. Grinberg leads off. Here's the pitch. That is going to be ball. 1-0. Grinberg leads off first. Here's the pitch from McCrea. Oh, look like it looked like it was a pitch out, but Grinberg doesn't take off for second there, and that is going to be a ball. 2-0. Grinberg off first once again here. That's going to be fouled off by Henriques, as that's going to make the count 2-1. Ball. That makes it 3-1. That's going to be a walk. And there goes Henriques off to first, and that's going to be his first time in the game on the base pass. A.J. Karras has to step back in there. He has thus far in this game a strikeout, a double, and has scored. All right, here we go now. AJ stepping back in here for the Panthers. 2 runners on base currently for Kitchener, with Grinberg at second and Henriques on first. First pitch in, there's a strike from McCrea, 0-1. As I hear a dog barking off in the distance there. Of course, I've seen a couple dogs here at the Beasley Field this weekend, and it's still barking along there as that is mooned to the right side. This could be tricky, but the catch is successfully made, and that is going to do it for this half inning there, and more runs put on the board here by the Panthers. Back out here with the bottom of the fourth of this one here at the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships, this preliminary round game between the Fredericton Royals and the Kitchener Panthers. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And once again, we'd like to acknowledge our game sponsor for this particular game, 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services. But to get back on with this thing here, as that's going to be foul tipped into the glove there to get the 0-1 count on Huckins, who's back up at the plate. He walked his last time up. And is still Millar in there pitching for Kitchener. Strike two, 0-2 the count. Of course, these Panthers coming by way of the Inter-County Baseball Association. That's the league that they play in. Of course, the Newmarket Hawks, the other Ontario team, play in the Leaside GTA League. So that just shows you for the Ontario U22 baseball season. That's going to be a drop. Strike three. The throw to first is in time. One away. Cole McTavish stepping his way back in here. We are one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch from Millar. Strike. 0-1. Of course, as mentioned earlier, these Fredericton Royals come by way of the New Brunswick Junior Baseball League. And of course, representing the province of New Brunswick in this here tournament. Inside, 1-1. Ball. 2-1. Of course, we're in the final game of day two here at Beasley Field for the tournament. And of course, for those who were there to see it, it was a very nice opening ceremony last night for all the teams, with honorary chair Cecil Wright throwing out the first pitch. Of course, a very deserving honor for him for all his involvement in local sports, especially baseball over the years in this area, as that's going to be a ball inside, 3-1. And made a very good speech as well, I must say as well, having the pleasure of hearing that speech about all that baseball, well, all the sports as well, but especially what baseball's done for him in his life there. As that was a great speech there, it's very nice to see as that was a strike, swing and a miss, full count on McTavish. Boom, strike three, and that is going to be the strike three there, and there's going to be a strikeout there, 2 away here in the bottom of the fourth. Garrick Hale stepping back in there for the Fredericton Royals. That's going to be popped up to the right side. Might be a play to be made there in foul ground. And the catch is kind of a circus catch there, but the catch is made. And that was a very nice one there by Grinberg to get the third out. What a catch that was. Yes. Back at it here, about to start the top of the fifth of this round robin game here in the Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. As we're still in this thing, Fredericton Royals and Kitchener Panthers. Mark Moff with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And once again, our acknowledgement to our game sponsor for this game, 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services. That first pitch in there, a strike to Robbie Gauthier, who's back up the plate here, and McRae is still pitching. That's going to be a ball, 1-1 the count. Gauthier, thus far in his plate appearances, has had 2 walks. Actually, correction, 2-0 is the count. Make it now 3-0 as that pitch is low. As we mentioned, both these teams were undefeated coming this game with perfect 2-0 records. That's going to be a 4-pitch walk, and there goes another walk. 3 walks on the night here for Gauthier, and he goes off to first once again. Ben Salazar stepping back in here. He has thus far in this game a double, a strikeout, and has scored. So we'll see what happens for this one here for Mr. Salazar. Gauthier maybe 1 step off of first. Perhaps that leadoff would be a bit more pronounced if the score was a bit closer. So perhaps he's just letting off a little bit there, considering that it is currently the 6-run lead here for the Kitchener Panthers. McCrea from the stretch. That's going to be a ball inside, 2-0. Of course, action is scheduled to get back underway at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Of course, that schedule might be adjusted, so we'll have to wait and see for the final confirmation on that from the tournament committee. Ball, 3-0. Of course, all sorts of factors I'm sure will be figured into consideration, making sure the players get the proper amount of rest, as well as scheduling and getting the logistics of all that there. Strike, 3-1. All right, stepping back in here, Ben Salazar. Swing and a miss, full count. That was a big swing there from Salazar, but couldn't get his bat on that one, and it's a full count. Salazar back in here. Payoff. Oh, I don't think Salazar was sure for a second there, but it is a ball, and that's going to send him off there on the walk. So that's going to send Salazar to first and Gauthier over to second. And another consultation coming here, or perhaps this might be a new pitcher coming for the Rosettes, that's going to be the end of the pitching stint for McCrea. And we're going to have a new pitcher coming in from the Royals, and we'll step aside for a moment, and we'll get back to it momentarily. Semboliu is going to be stepping in to take over the pitching here for these Frederick Rolls. Of course, his weak start here this tournament by being the Frederick Rolls representative in the batting, the home run derby. But now he's in here pitching as here's David Polson up here back at the plate. The pitch from Beaulieu as that first pitch is going to be fouled way back there. 0-1. Polson, his last at-bat, or both of his at-bats, he's actually scored twice and has had a double and a walk. All right, we're still going to have Salazar at first and Gauthier at second. Next one coming from Beaulieu. Ball. 1-1 is the count. Of course, we all remember he was one of the couple of batters in the home run derby that had the super casual attire, did Beaulieu. If I remember correctly, it was a T-shirt and shorts. Like he's getting off the beach or something there. So, but, of course, that fit with the spirit of that particular event. Having some fun before getting down to the formalities of the games. That one's going to be grounded to short. Play the second in time over the first. Oh, just barely not in time, and that is... So they get the one out there, but just the one. So that's going to cause Salazar to be out at second off the FC. And Gauthier goes over to third. And Polson gets over the first on the aforementioned FC. All right, back to the top of the order now for the Panthers. Here comes Will Bullard back in again. Has struck out twice and was hit his last time up. He's going to have Gauthier at third and Polson at first. So runners at the corners here for the Panthers. Still with one away here in the top of the fifth. Beaulieu's pitch is going to be in there. First strike, 0-1. Beaulieu settles back in here. There's Gauthier off third and Polson off first. Here's the pitch. That's going to be roped to the left side and through there for the base hit. That's going to score at least run. Wave around coming for the second runner. And the throw is going to be cut off there, and 2 more runs are going to come in here and make it now a 10-2 lead here off the RBI double for Bullard. All right, entering the double digits now are the Panthers, as they now have a 10-2 lead in this one. Blake Jacklin stepping back up to the plate. In his ones, he's grounded out. He's had a single and a second single, so 2 singles on the day here for Blake Jacklin, or night I should say, as we're now creeping up at 11:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time here in the Atlantic time zones. That's going to be a ball, 1-0 the count. Bullard off of second. Here's the pitch from Beaulieu from the stretch, and that is going to be past the catcher, and that is going to advance Bullard to third. Beaulieu going to try and settle back in here, as we are still just 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Off the pitch here. That's going to be grounded to second. Oh, but a bad hop is going to send it over there, and that is going to put another one on the board here. I'm counting that as a single there. That would have been a very tough play to make if that would have been fielded cleanly off that very extremely horrific bounce for the Fredericton Royals, and that's going to plate Paulson, as that's going to send Jacklin over the first and make it another run on the board for the Panthers.
Number 65, left fielder Boonstra.
David Boonstra stepping back in here. In this game, he is singled. Actually, a couple of singles on the day here for Boonstra as he's stepping back in here. Actually, just the one, single there for Boonstra, as he's going to step in here with Jacklin at first. Here's the pitch from Beaulieu. That's in the dirt. That's going to be passed, and that is going to advance the runner, Jacklin, to second base. If I could just quickly recap just how the other games that you've seen here today went on Beasley. Of course, we had this Kitchener team over Manitoba 8-7. The Renegades over the Metro Marlins 9-8 in a very exciting game. And, of course, right before this, the Kentville Wildcats in a very exciting extra inning win over Newmarket 4-3. Count currently sits at 1-1 here. Beaulieu sends it in. Now it's going to be a pass there, but really kind of bounced off of maybe the catcher's foot there. Either way, Jacklin is unable to advance. He stays at second here. Still just 1 away here in the top of the fifth. That's going to be in there for a ball, 3-1. Of course, the action that is scheduled to start tomorrow at 10 a.m. as the schedule stands is going to be Manitoba and the Kentville Wildcats. Next one coming. Foul tip back into the catching glove. And that's going to make it the 3-1 count. And the last round robin game you're going to see here at BC before the playoff round starts, that's going to be the Renegades and these Fredericton Royals. at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Then after that, the playoff round starts. That's going to be roped. Oh, bad break there. So that's going to go off the glove there. The runner's going to come home here. And we're going to see it possibly a play at the plate here, but ends up not coming as going to slide in safely there, Boonstra, and get that run in there. So that's going to send another runner in there for the Panthers as Jacklin able to score.
Number 52, first baseman Simon Greenberg.
Grinberg stepping back in there. He has flown out, grounded out, and has advanced on an FC. And steps back in here. That's going to be a ball, 1-0. As that's going to be still on this thing here is Grinberg. The leadoff comes from second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there. That is going to be strike one. As that's going to make or strike two, excuse me. 0-2 is the count. One strike away from getting this man gone here, Grinberg. That's going to be the ball there, 1-2. As there goes, looks like that's Crawford Passy out there again for the Panthers, getting that foul ball. All right, Grinberg steps back in here as the count currently stands at 1-2 as we are one away here in the top of the fifth. Bolio sends that one in, and that's going to be ripped foul. That's going to keep the at-bat going here for Grinberg. The leadoff from second. Here's the pitch from Sambuliu. That's going to be a tip strike back into the catcher's glove, and the tag was made, even though I think we were fine in your case. I don't think the pitch was dropped. But either way, that's going to be a strikeout there, 2 away. Tyler Henriques stepping back in here for the Panthers. Has struck out twice and has walked. Beaulieu stepping back in here once again. Pitch is coming. Ball, 1-0. Ripped to the left side, foul. 1-1 the count here as I look just to my right here, the broadcast position, as there's a beautiful looking half golden moon out there, which is very nice to see on this Friday night, surrounded by clouds through the mist of this late night here in Dartmouth. Here's the 1-1 from Beaulieu. That's going to be passed, and that is going to advance the runner, Boonstra to third. As we reset here, still 2 outs here in the half inning here. That half inning being the top of the fifth, to be as specific as possible. That's going to be a pass ball, and that is going to easily send Boonstra home and put another one on there for the Panthers. New ball coming in here. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, both these teams, this is their second game of the day here. Of course, all teams had to do this year in order to get all their round-robin games in a short frame here. So this is the second one they're going here, and that's going to be the walk there to send Henriques to first.
Number 47, third baseman
A.J. Karras has to step back in here. He has scored, doubled, struck out, and flew out. Strike 0-1. Ball. That's going to bring the count to 1-1 here. So we're still 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. That ball going to be put to the right side there. Oh, but that bad bounce there is going to not have the throw get in there, and that's going to put Karras on first and advance Henriques to second there.
Number 2, the designated hitter, Robbie Gauthier.
Robbie Gauthier stepping back in here for the Panthers. In this one, he has walked, scored, walked again, and walked a third time and scored twice. So he's scored 2 runs and has walked thrice. So that's how it's been in this game for him. For Robbie Gauthier, that's going to be a swing and the miss, strike 1, 0-1. Next one coming. That's going to be high, 1-1. Still Henriques over there at second, and still Karras over at first. Swing and a miss on that one, 1-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this half inning here for the Fredericton Royals. As the count sits at 1-2, we are 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Here's the pitch from Beaulieu. That's going to be high. 2-2 is the count. All right, stepping back in here is Gauthier. Here's the pitch from Sam Beaulieu. That's going to be hammered right center. And that's going to come all the way back to the wall. And looks like it's going to play both of the Kitchener runners. As there is Henriques across. And there is Karras across. And that's going to score both of them. And so the RBI 2-run double there for Robbie Gauthier gets 2 more across here for the Kitchener Panthers. And looks like that's going to be the end of the pitching stint here for Mr. Sam Beaulieu as he relinquishes the ball. And we're going to get another pitching change here for the Fredericton Royals, so we'll step away for a moment and we'll be back at it once the new pitcher is ready to go. back at it here as we continue on with the top of the fifth here as Ben Salazar steps in here as he has doubled, scored, struck out, and walked in this game. First pitch coming from Dean Clowater, the new pitcher in there for the Royals. That's going to be a ball. 1-0 the count. Of course, as we inch ever closer to the playoff round here, the turn, of course, that's going to get underway tomorrow. And, of course, we got to get all the seedings for the playoffs sorted out here, of course, in these last round games with the run differentials and all the possible tiebreakers and all that stuff there. So we approach that here as, of course, we're still going on with our final game here at Beasley here for the tournament action on this Friday night, the day 2 of the tournament. That's going to be blistered to left field. And that is gone. That's out of here. And so that's going to be the long shot in there, out of here for Sam Gauthier, and that puts 2 more on the board here for the Kitchener Panthers. David Polson to step back in here for the Panthers. In this game, he has doubled, scored, walked, scored again, had an FC, and scored a 3rd time. Or I should say, when I say FC, I mean fielder's choice, but just, short form, FC. Just so that you weren't confused when I was just doing that there, as here comes the next pitch here from Dean Clowater. Ball, 1-0. Now past 11:30 Atlantic Standard Time. Of course, the weather had other plans in terms of us being on schedule here for tonight, as we're still going out here. Still going some, now over 2.5 hours out of where we possibly could have been out of here if the schedule would have stayed on. There's a flare to left field. The catch is made, and that is going to do it here for this half inning here, and that does it here for top of the 5th. About to get back out here with the bottom of the 5th here of this preliminary round game, Canadian U22 Baseball Championships. Mark Marv with you, High Button Sports. Thank you very much for sticking with us here. And once again, we'd like to acknowledge our sponsor for this game, for the game sponsor, 5 Star Roofing and Masonry Services. Here's Malari back in with the pitch here, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 1, 0-1. as Alex Clark out there pinch hitting for the Royals and fouls that one off, 0-2. Next one coming from Millar. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to be one away here. Another pinch hitter coming in here for the Royals. It's going to be Colby Boyle. So he's going to get in on this thing here, as we are one away here in the bottom of the 5th. That is going to be well, there's a ball there, so 1-0 will be the count. Contact made on that one, and that is going to be foul. 1-1. Of course, that did look like that ball did skip into the parking lot there. Of course, hopefully no properties. I mean, you always hope that no properties ever damaged in situations like that, so that's going to be a 2-1 off the ball there for the count. But of course, the many times, and it has been used for humorous purposes in sports blooper videos where the ball goes off people's cars or trucks or whatever. I guess as long as you get the insurance money back, then you can laugh about it years later, as 3-1 currently the count. Or I guess, heck, broken windows on adjacent buildings or the like. That's going to be sent way into the sky here, so it's careening back down to earth. And the catch is made, 2 away. Able to make that catch there was Boonstra. And we are 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Max Grant coming back up to the plate here. In this game, he has walked twice. Oh, excuse me. We got a pinch hitter, coming in here for the Royals. As Millar going to set up for this pitch here. So that's going to be a strike, 0-1 the count. Next pitch coming. Strike 2, 0-2. Just trying to find out who that pinch hitter is in there for the Royals. Actually, it looks like it's still Grant in there, actually. So that's going to be a ball. 1-2. Strike 3. That's going to do it for this thing here, and that is going to do it for the game, as the 10-run rule is in effect, a 10-run lead after 5 complete, and as you can see on your screen there, that is the case there, and that's going to do it for this game here. And as you can see the scoreboard on the screen, there's the story for the final score, 17-2 victory here for the Panthers. We are going to have a player of the game presentation here. Well, maybe they'll just forego that since we all got to get out of here. Of course, once again, I'd like to thank our game sponsor for this one, 5-Star Roofing and Masonry Services. Okay. All right, about to get the player of the game presentations momentarily here off of this big win here from the Kitchener Rangers, 17-2 over the Fredericton Royals in this one. And it looks like that is Oliver Burnett getting the player of the game there for the Fredericton Royals. And Kevin Millar getting that player of the game there for the Panthers after his complete game performance in this one on the mound for the Panthers. All right, that's going to do it for our broadcast here and for our day's